Julie, let's begin with the steps. Awareness.
Awareness is a step of just letting yourself dream and think about what energizes and inspires you. And what we found, by the way, with this process is after each step, there's a path. It's either I'm going to do something about this or I'm just going to go back to my comfort zone. And so I think the key with awareness is just being able to say without making a decision, because that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We start to dream, well, that can't really work, right? There's got to be, and we start self-editing. We start thinking of all of those reasons why it can't. So awareness is just letting ourselves think about what's really important, what energizes us, what gives us inspiration. And I don't even have to know at this point how that's going to manifest as a goal. It's just giving myself time to do that. However that it happens in your life. Go for a walk, dream, talk to a friend, whatever that is.
Amazing. Now, what about audacity, which is the second step?
Yeah, so audacity is really, each one takes it a little closer to something concrete. So awareness, we like to say that's where possibility lives, because frankly, anything is possible. Audacity is really, it requires a bit more courage, because now what we're doing is saying, okay, knowing what I know now about what I want to achieve. And again, that could be something big or it could be something small. It could be a different role at work. It could be a different job altogether. It could be taking the trip of a lifetime. It could be any of those things. Mm-hmm. Audacity is now about saying, well, what's the specific goal that I have? Based on that awareness, what am I going to do? And trying to narrow it down. Still don't have to figure out how I'm going to do it, but need to have the courage to draw a line in the sand almost and say, this is what I want. And that's very hard for some people to do. And that's really what an audacious goal is all about.
Right. Okay. So the third step is action. So tell us about action.
Well, now it gets real, right? So if audacity is about what you're going to do, then action is about how you're going to do it. And it's such a critical step. So we like to say that this is sort of where confidence lives, because now we've got to actually put one foot in front of the other. So we take that goal and we begin to break it down into actions. Do I need to get different training? Do I need to talk to somebody significant in my life because this will be a big change? What are all of those steps that I need to take? And now it becomes very concrete and a timeline, but again, the idea is that we don't jump to that right away. We've got to give ourselves the space to get to that point.
And I think it's very important that you just said, we need to give ourselves some space. Yeah. It's that patience thing again. Because everybody wants something now. They want the changes now. They want the future now. Mm-hmm. And I think it's what you've been saying is extremely important, because these changes take a lot of steps and a lot of time.
They do. I mean, and let's face it, this is a lifetime. There isn't one path. It's really a path that leads to another path that leads to another path, right? Because we're always evolving. And in fairness, what is important to us changes along the way. Yeah. So we may need to pivot. We learned a lot about pivots during COVID.
Right.
And that's sometimes required.
Okay, so now we're on to accountability.
Yeah.
This is the next step.
Yep. So accountability is really about thinking through a structured plan to hold yourself accountable and to find the support that you need to hold yourself accountable. We have a lot of dreams in our head that never get action because we haven't articulated it to anyone else in our lives. And there were a few things. I found a lot of people who were really successful with this either had a mastermind group that they were part of, or just a group of colleagues, or a spouse that they talked to, but there was some structure and some consistency to that. And one of the most interesting things we learned is called the Michelangelo effect. And it really is about choosing who you talk to very carefully, because we are so formed by the responses of others. So if we're excited about something and we go home and say, this is what I want to do, and our spouse says, well, I guess I'm taking care of the kids then. Like, if we don't get the response, that can actually negatively impact your chances of success. So choose carefully.
Choose carefully.